Welcome back to some more action from Kharak Cup number 2. This match is going to be from round 4. It's going to be Rompafrolic as the Gaalsien versus Catharsis as the Khaaneph. Gaalsien versus Khaaneph is an interesting matchup. It's pretty much a mirror matchup, or at least it should be. But because the Khaaneph siege cruiser is much better, that's generally like the tech choice that they go for. You tend to see many more assault ships off the Khaaneph side, which is pretty interesting. As well as some interesting blast drone micro in the beginning. It can be a pretty fun matchup to watch. There's quite a lot of relevance on this match. Catharsis currently at 1 point in the series, Rompafrolic at 1 point in the series. And so whoever wins this match is going to proceed to the bracket, and whoever doesn't is going to be taken out. So this is actually a very important match for these players, whereas some of the other ones haven't been as important. Whoever wins this proceeds to the brackets, and whoever loses does not. So spawning down the south here, we're going to have Catharsis in the sort of like black and gray Khaaneph forces that he usually plays as. And he's gone for CUs first on his salvagers. Meanwhile, we've got Rompafrolic in his awesome looking, purple and blue carrier. I love that thing. He's also gone for CUs first. Actually, probably he went for RUs first like he did last game, although it's a little hard to tell. But then going for CUs again here. This is like the mirror of what he did on Canyon Outpost. So, like I said last time, I'm expecting some early assault ship tech from Rompafrolic. I'm expecting him to make, 20 base runners for some reason, and I'm expecting Catharsis to make tons of blast drones and just try to blow up his opponent's eco. Sure enough, blast drones being produced and skimmers being produced, so it's going to be a nice attack from Catharsis. Interestingly, he hasn't turned on the mobility support, but it's only 3 speed after all. It's not such a big deal. Excuse me. Sand skimmers immediately going to begin this fight here, but it looks like Rompafrolic is going to take a little bit of a damaged lead right here. Although he's not focus firing, crucially. Catharsis is. The blast drone is coming in here, but I'm not sure what he's going to be able to find right here. Sandskimmer goes down for Rompafrolic. Second gets taken down by the blast drone. That's of course not a favorable trade because he spent more than he got there. However, just military might-wise, that might actually be worth it if he pushes in here and takes out the Sandskim as well. I think that's got to be the better move. Yeah, he's going to do it. But I don't think he's going to get the kill off of that one. Probably with a bit earlier reaction, he could have gotten this Sand Skimmer as well. That Sand Skimmer can be very useful for the Gaalsien team coming in here. He's already researched Power Reserve 1, has Rompafrolic, so he could definitely power up the weapons. I mean, that would obviously be the right choice right here. Please power up the weapons. Anyway, he is back into his base, though. His production crews are taking damage already. Starting to become a little bit relevant. One Sand Skimmer is going to go down just for the carrier's PDA here. Probably could already have taken down 2, of course. Just power up the weapons, man. There's no reason to get Power Reserve 1 if you're not going to use that, of course. Assault Ship Tech coming in now. Refinery mode coming in for Catharsis as well as assault ships from his side. Now there's a blast drone right here. This could be huge. But it's not going to find any hits immediately. Numbers are beginning to favor Rompafrolic again, but there are 2 blast drones here, and 2 is the crucial number. If 2 blast drones get into the economy, they can destroy all of the salvagers, which is really devastating. Catharsis is trying to use the dune to save his Sand Skimmer, but he's a little bit late there, and also this dune right here doesn't really provide the best of cover. The blast drones have gotten behind, though, and now they've got an excellent angle on these salvagers. Mines being deployed from the salvagers to try to stop it, but that, as usual, didn't actually do anything. It was the carrier that saved them there. If Catharsis had come in from the wider angle, I'm sure he would have gotten at least 4 salvager kills right there, but unfortunately for him, that is all deflected. And now he's looking like he's running back a little bit. Assault ship research has already been finished. Assault ships are being produced now out of this production cruiser. Another blast drone is still in the field, looking for some good hits against these Sand Skimmers, but they're not going to find him as these Sand Skimmers head back to chase the base runner into the extraction zone. Meanwhile, the Gaalsien player actually extracted an artifact, which is pretty cool. Always helps when you're on the defense. Hey, look at that! He powered up his weapons. Well, yeah, which is big actually, because if he hadn't, that blast drone would have gotten a pretty big hit there. So he found it in time. Khaaneph base runner, of course, artificially extending its life with that smoke ability, which is usually pretty darn good. Blast drone is going to come out on top of these. Oh, if Rompafrolic's not watching, he could lose all of them. Oh my goodness! Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, well, fortunately for Rompafrolic, neither player was watching that one right there. That's just the scariest thing. There's still one blast drone on the map, but that that base runner having gone down, we don't expect to see any more of those. Refinery mode coming down for Rompafrolic. Catharsis still... No, actually has already gotten refinery mode. That's quite early. Although, rather than... Oh yeah, he's making another... Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say, like, why do you have a production cruiser here? That doesn't make any sense, but... No, yeah, look, he's moving that one over there. Look, man, this is where you're harvesting from. Put him right there, right there. Right there. I don't really understand the movement of the production cruiser off to this side of the map, but that is okay. As I said, as we expected, you know, 3 base runners, 4th on the way. Rompafrolic really loves his base runners. We will see what will happen next. And he's gone for missile ships, too. Actually, I like that choice. No, wait, no, I don't. Wait, no, I do. Yeah, I do, because, you know, your Khaaneph opponent almost always goes for interceptors of some kind, so, well, just make missile ships already. The choice that I really don't like is then going for interceptors. Kind of feels like just go for one or the other, right? Not really sure why he's done both. But he has got a missile ship out on the field that can do damage to armored units. But notably, that's the only thing on the map that can do damage to these armored units except for the carrier. So Rompafrolic could take some serious economic damage here, but at the same time he's looking at dishing out a double portion of that himself. Catharsis has got a blast drone to try to hold off all of these sand skimmers. We know how that can go, but we also know how it cannot go. Catharsis is going to see this and be like, whoa, that's a lot of sand skimmers you got there. Rompafrolic wisely had targeted the blast drone, but auto-targeting is not putting much priority on it. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, it's not going to be a hit. So this is going to be serious trouble now for Catharsis. Oh, and there's a base runner here. Too bad it can't actually do anything. One salvager goes down. Rompafrolic could really stick around and get like a lot more of them, but that's alright. Meanwhile, he's using his interceptor to try to ward off these assault ships. One of them goes down indeed, and it looks like they're not really going to be able to get much damage in here. These sand skimmers running in, but this is a terrible angle. They don't want to engage here. The missile ship wasting its barrage, shooting its own salvagers. Not sure about that. These sand skimmers here, really contemplating whether they want to do this or not. I mean, after all, murder is a crime. It's punishable by law. They're going to go for it, though. Another artifact being extracted now by Rompafrolic. Certainly lots of base runner heals going on over here. Yeah, like I didn't even need to check, although they're not doing anything, predictably. This assault ship being super annoying, and these salvagers were not microed, and so they're taking damage to this assault ship. Looks like about 4 of them are going to go down, which is pretty big economic losses right here. Oh, just barely saves these 2. So that's good for Rompafrolic. What happened to all those sand skimmers? Where did they go? Have they just, like, exploded? I don't know. But, I mean, you can tell by the wreckage here that quite a lot of things have died here, which is usually a good sign for the red player. Strike fighters also in the air, taking out this wing of sand skimmers. And now Catharsis looking a little bit flustered. He hasn't really got much of a military presence left on the map. What's the tech going to be? He's also going for interceptors. Not totally sure I like that tech. I mean, I feel like the player who gets interceptors first ought to be the one who doesn't have to get missile ships. Because, you know, you can only produce one at a time. You're not going to outproduce your opponent in that regard. And yet, Catharsis, with the later interceptors, is trying to outproduce his opponent, and his opponent does have missile ships, which is just, like, super backwards. But maybe 2 negatives make a positive, and this is good for Catharsis? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Afterburner tech also coming in. I don't think... No, yeah, he's already got that. So Rompafrolic already has the afterburner tech, which is pretty significant. Allows you to escape if you're losing the fight. Allows you to chase if you're winning the fight. Oh, but look at this excellent angle on these interceptors right here. Rompafrolic's interceptors, crucially, were targeting the assault ships at the time, so those interceptors got some nice hits in. But with that afterburner tech, he's going to be able to escape, and Catharsis runs right over the missile ship and loses another interceptor there. So that's a 2-for-2 trade. He's going to come back. Oh, don't come back. You got to get out of there. You got to get out of there. He goes down. So now it's a 3-for-2 trade. with Rompafrolic still having the interceptor advantage. 4 of them queued up for Catharsis. Usually don't like seeing big build queues, but that's alright. This base runner healing Catharsis' sand skimmers. And then this assault ship here going to try to come in and zone out these sand skimmers. Dodges the missile barrage quite nicely. Base runner goes down, and these sand skimmers look like they want to chase. What are the upgrades looking like? Upgrades are favoring Rompafrolic, but numbers and high ground definitely favoring Catharsis here. I believe he can take this fight, although missile barrage is going to come in and it's going to be good. And missile barrage is going to save all of these sand skimmers here and push these sand skimmers off. Missile ship now getting shot at. Tech choices. Catharsis going for siege. That's pretty standard. He is Khaaneph after all. These sand skimmers going in for a big dive here, and it looks good because these assault ships have been taken out. One missile ship went down, but air units are in the field. They're doing a lot of damage, and all of these sand skimmers are going to go down for Catharsis. This is a very, very convincing battle for Rompafrolic. Rompafrolic is down on eco, 3 bases to 2, as you can see, but he's definitely got the military advantage, and he can just kind of run in and do some serious damage now with his carrier. Look familiar from last video? I mean, it should. It's kind of like the same situation, but GVG now. Let's see, and Rompafrolic has been getting his power reserves too, as well as extracting artifacts, so his carrier is actually looking pretty nasty now. 3 base runners only on the field. Unacceptable. You need at least 10. Siege cruiser fabrication finishing in 30 seconds. That is, of course, a really, really long tech, so not surprising to see it take so long. What are the interceptor numbers are like exactly even. Look at this. Although 2 more are being produced now from Catharsis. Blast drone is finished from Catharsis, and that could be huge. You never know what these things are going to do. Like, sometimes they can just win the game for you. Sometimes they do absolutely nothing. But there is a very large sand skimmer blob here, and if they stay blobbed up like this, and if Rompafrolic doesn't see the blast drone coming, that could be it. I can really change the course of an entire game just like in one moment. Interceptor's getting scrambled now from Catharsis, but they need to be careful not to engage over this carrier. They also need to be careful not to just dock right here. Okay, that was close. They'll auto-dock if you leave them idle for too long. He's gonna fly out, sees a base runner, sees some scanners, but nothing to hit yet. I guess he's gonna go for the base runner, but this production cruiser was like, no, it's not open with missile ships, right? Don't listen to me. Interceptor numbers going for Catharsis, but he goes for a bit of a split here. Now his army's not together. I can't even tell what's going on in this dogfight here, but he's flying over the missile ships, so I can tell you that it's not going to turn out well for him. It might even be better to watch it from this angle, honestly. I don't know, man. It's really difficult to keep track of these kinds of fights, but it looks like all but one of the interceptors went down for Catharsis. Rompafrolic, meanwhile, holding 3. It's a very good trade there for Rompafrolic. And now this massive sand skimmer blob is moving in here. It's going to find these sand skimmers, and they're going to be like, ruh-roh, that's not where I want to be. Going to get absolutely slaughtered here. That's quite unfortunate for Catharsis. His army is just melting away at every turn. And now Rompafrolic's going to push in with his carrier here. This siege cruiser is the tournament life of Rompafrolic, or of Catharsis, that is. If it can somehow win the game for him, then he wins, but otherwise he's out of the tournament. So this is definitely tense times for the Khaaneph player. Not clear what he's going to do. Cruise missiles from the Khaaneph carrier coming out, and they're pretty good. Really nice missile barrage from Rompafrolic there, takes out a sand skimmer. Rompafrolic is going to dodge those missiles, and he's going to back away for now, buying Catharsis a little bit of time. He's produced now 2 siege cruisers. That's when it starts to get a little bit relevant. What is Rompafrolic going to use to deal with these? He could use air, but that's a little risky with these production cruisers all around. I don't know, I like the idea of going siege actually against this. But one thing's for sure, he can't just keep making sand skimmers. Khaaneph siege cruisers, of course, in case you didn't know, are like the absolute hard counter to sand skimmers. Looks like the interceptors are finding the assault ships over there. Oh, what? Oh. Quality casting right here. Yeah, Rompafrolic won actually. So I didn't even see this at all, but he extracted all of the artifacts. So well done to him. This base runner play, man, it's the number of base runners you know able to get all these artifacts up. I totally didn't see that. Well, I must apologize for missing that one. But it looks like Rompafrolic has indeed taken the win there. So, that is that. And that means Rompafrolic is going to proceed into the elimination bracket. Catharsis, unfortunately, going to get eliminated right here. Was not able to get control of the map. And that makes sense if you look at this game. He just, like, his army kept just getting killed over and over again. Like, right in the beginning, looked maybe like he could do some damage, and then he got killed off. And then later, with more sand skimmers, got killed off. And then later, the assault ships all got killed off by this air units. And then all the interceptors got killed off. And now, I mean, if you follow the current trend, the siege cruisers must die eventually. But they don't even have a chance to, because an artifact gets scored, and that's the end of the game. So very well done from both players. But Rompafrolic is going to take the win, and he's going to move into round 5.